Today we do not play games, we talk about the handheld. A lot of friends asked me, this RG565, this handheld is worth buying. Today I would like to spend some time to talk with you. First of all, the configuration of this handheld, we may be clearer. The CPU is the Show T618, the storage configuration is 4 plus 128, you can plug TF card, no video output port. The entity back button, a key to switch the front end of the button, its price in the official store is $949. If you go on some 3-word platform then. At least. If you have other coupons, you can get it even lower. The average gamer who wants to buy this handheld, I think all want to play the PS2 this class of game. If you just want to play some GBA SFC, there's no need to buy a handheld at this price. Just $400 or $500 will do. So how about playing PS2 games on this machine? My feeling is like this. You say he has to be able to run 100% of the games. Less than 10%. But if you lower your requirements a little bit, you can say that he can play the game normally. Occasionally drop the needle this kind of game then. It should be 80% of the games. And games that are completely unplayable. I've only met about half a dozen so far. That means if you're not too demanding. If you're not too demanding, you can use it to play PS2. It's still fine. NGC. I've been playing with it. I can basically get 30 frames per second. And with the needle, I can get more than 25 frames per second. It's basically playable. There are fewer bits. First of all, this bit. It has a limitation on the simulation. It can only play games with the classic joystick, or games that are held horizontally. If you need to use that. Infrared sensor games. This emulator can't simulate well. That's why there are fewer games that can be played on the 3DS. For 3DS, it can basically play the kind of game like Farmer's Bazaar. It's not a problem. But if there are certain 3D requirements, it can't achieve full frame rate. It may sometimes drop to 60% or 70% of the time. If you have more patience, you can also play like the Monster Hunter series. Basically, you can't play any of them. I think the number of customers who can play it is about 60%. PSP can basically run smoothly in 2D resolution. I'm not going to talk about the ones below PSP. I'm sure they're all fine. But because it's a pure Android system, for example, Bath games, I think the open source handheld may be more suitable. And nowadays, open source handhelds are quite cheap. You can buy one for $300 or $400. Now let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages of this machine. First of all, I think the biggest advantage is that it feels better in your hand. Such as the cross keys and buttons are using conductive rubber. The feel of the hand is also soft and firm. Very comfortable to press. The 2-hall rockers are said to be never drift. But in terms of feel, I don't think there's much difference. The 2 shoulder buttons are micro-activated. It's a bit crisper to press. Side-by-side shoulder buttons is a little bit not in line with our habits. But after a long time, it's actually not too bad. Another advantage is that its body is better made. It's very comfortable to touch. Hardness is also very high. The battery life of this machine is a big advantage. It is equipped with a 5,000 mAh battery. If you play games normally, 8 hours is no problem. I often play from morning till night. Except for some intermittent time in between. It's still charged past 10 p.m. If you want to use it like a normal cell phone, you can use it for a day. And its standby is. It's the same as a cell phone's standby. If it stays for one night, it basically loses about 3% of its power. This machine has a built-in RG residence front end. This front end is like a game launcher, but it does not cover PS2, Wii, and GC, and 3DS. It can be said to be a little more convenient for white people, but I believe that people with a little experience, I'm sure they'd prefer to use a dedicated emulator. This back button on the side. When we play games, it's very convenient to call out the menu. Just press it and the menu comes out. No need to click on the screen. Sometimes this button on the screen always slides out if. It's very annoying. And it gets a lot of fingerprints on the screen. I think it's the screen resolution. It's a little low. Because this screen, it's a PSV 1000 screen. In those days, the resolution was not as high as ours. When we're used to using this. Now, for example, when we're used to using cell phones. When we look at this screen again, I feel that the graininess is a bit obvious. But when we play games, it's fine. Because we're playing retro games. The resolution itself is not high. And this game. This is the only resolution of this screen. I don't think there's much difference between the lowest and the highest. It's fine indoors. But not when there's sunlight. Many people want to know. 505 and RP3.5. Who is better to buy? In fact, there are a lot of two family groups have already done a detailed comparison. I'm not going to talk about it here. I will simply say